What does crash mean to you? Maybe it's the screech of tires, the violent impact of metal on metal, the aftermath of a collision that stops everything in its tracks. Or perhaps it's the sudden drop of numbers on a stock market chart, sending waves of panic through the world. Crash can make your heart race. It can mean disaster, destruction, and chaos. But is that all it is? Well, not quite, because crash is more than just disaster. Let's start with the basics. A crash could mean an accident, a moment where control is lost, and life as we know it spins out of hand. Like when two cars collide unexpectedly on a quiet country road, or when systems, airplanes, computers just stop working. Crashes can strike out of nowhere, loud, shocking, and impossible to ignore. But crash can also mean something quiet, gentle even, like when the waves crash on the shore. Have you noticed? There's violence in a wave, yes, a clap against the rocks, but there's also rhythm, a kind of calm that follows the chaos. Even the most furious storm at sea has a steady rhythm. Crash, retreat, crash, retreat. It almost feels like nature's way of saying, recovery follows impact. And then there's the metaphorical crash, when humans fall apart. We call it crashing when we push too hard, stay up too late, drive ourselves past the limit. There's that moment when your body slumps over at your desk and you're out cold before you even realize it. I crashed, we say. As though, just like the machines we build, we too need to shut down when overloaded. Crashing sometimes is just our way of rebooting. Or what about the party crasher? Someone who crashes not as an accident, but with intention. They weren't invited, yet there they are, sipping punch and dancing like they own the place. They crash the scene, turn the mood upside down, and maybe remind us to loosen up for just a second. See, that's the fascinating thing about crash. It's both a warning and a lesson. It can be devastating, but sometimes it's necessary. A wake-up call, or the natural step before rebuilding begins. Planes crash, but then aviation gets safer. Stock markets crash, but people innovate and recover. You crash on a couch after a long day, and you wake up ready to go again. Isn't that kind of the point? So what does crash mean? It means chaos, but also growth. It signals failure, but also resilience. It represents endings, but also beginnings. It's loud, it's quiet, it's destructive, it's transformative. So the next time you hear the word crash, stop and think. Maybe it's not the end. It's just the start of something new.